Hey everyone, on this week's episode, we talk about doing 10,000 steps a day. We talk about how progress is happiness, and we keep you up to date on everything that we have going on, from a secret something happening on September 28th in Los Angeles to what our plans are for the summer. This is the Freddie Alyssa Show. Welcome, everyone, to the Freddie and Alyssa Show.
Welcome.
Hope you had a good weekend. I hope that no matter where you live, the weather is improving, because we are staring out our window right now, and it is, 75, 80 degrees? It feels like summer.
Yeah, we went for a really great walk today. Well, you took me on a crazy walk. How far was that?
It was, I can actually look right now.
It was uphill. It was beautiful out, which was my point. But he took me on this new course, because we usually will take the same exact course to get our steps or, cardio in. And today he took me on one that was very uphill.
Yeah.
Very
it's a good
long.
workout,
it's
though.
A great workout.
It's a good workout, though. No, it gets you.
How far did we go?
When you're going, we went about 6 miles. So we weren't like jogging or running, but when you're going up a steep hill for a long period of time,
Yes.
your heart rate gets up and kind of in that fat burning zone.
Yes.
And we've gotten addicted to the simplicity of walking.
Yeah.
Like I've always heard 10,000 steps burns anywhere from 300 to 500 calories, depending on what you weigh. I burn more calories because I weigh more than you do,
Right.
but it also takes more food to fuel me.
True.
Sometimes I put more fuel than I need in my body. But we built a habit, and after calorie counting in October, November, December, we weren't working out.
No.
So it was so meticulous about the food. And what we're realizing is that if you fast as long as you can in the morning, and then you eat just a little breakfast, like 100 to 200, 300 calories max, and then you go and work out, or if you go to work and you're busy,
Yep.
it breaks up the monotony.
Yeah.
But we're burning like 500, 600, 700 calories a day. So if I want to lose 2 pounds a week, that's 1,500, but those 700 are allowing me to eat 2,200,
Right.
because the actual burned is,
Yeah.
I'm left with 1,500 of food.
Yeah.
Where last time I was like trying to just eat 1,500 without any
Well,
help.
but that's what I remember. I would because I think I got 1,400 a day, and that's
tough. That's
it was
unsustainable.
tough. Yeah, no, it totally is, because after that, it was the holidays. I ended up putting back on everything I lost. But when it's just lifestyle and you can have a normal amount of calories, but you're also active and feeling good and tightening up, you just feel great. And there's something about working out or walking or being outside that just puts you in such a great mood. I love starting my day off with that, because we're ready to rock and roll for the rest of the day. You feel great.
You get a little bit of a tan, which I always like. And you get a good, little sweat in. Like we actually just came back from it not too long ago on today, and it just felt really good. And what we've realized during our busy days is if you walk briskly, you can knock out maybe 7,000 steps in about 45 minutes.
Yep.
So the other 2,500, if you just live your day, like have your phone, or if you have a Fitbit or whatever you have, and that's the other thing, we probably burn more.
But
because we have it by our phone. So even in the morning when we walk to brush our teeth or walk around, but if you have a Fitbit, I think you will you'll do about 2,500 steps a day.
We used to use a tracker, but I feel like sometimes, especially you're horrible with jewelry.
You bought me this beautiful watch for one of my birthdays, and I
think you wore it once.
I wore it once.
When I gave it to him.
That day.
I bet you don't know where it's at right now. I know where it's at.
I don't know what it is about things on my wrist now that I used to wear them all the time, and now I'm like, I don't.
You've never really been that big on jewelry.
I was when I was like 17.
I do remember. Yes. Photos I would see of you.
Yeah. But
he used to he would wear this bandana around his wrist. I remember, when we first met.
Oh, I know.
It was the cool thing to do back then.
Let me make sure. I always am paranoid that we're not recording. We are.
We're recording. So we've been having a lot of fun getting our steps in, doing the workout, getting outside now that it's warmer. And I think all over the U.S. it's getting warmer than it has been for a lot of people. And here in Cali, the flowers that are blooming are sensational. It's so beautiful.
But it's because of the amount of rain that we had.
Sure.
I think there's something like our mountains, for 8 years, you would drive down the freeways and it's just brown mountains. It is gorgeous because of all the rain. And I've never seen LA
like
this
Hawaii-esque.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it has a lot more like buildings, I feel like LA than Hawaii,
yeah.
but the actual, like, it is like Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like, it looks really good.
It's gorgeous.
But one last quick note on the steps. If you don't have time to do 10,000, start with 5,000. And even if you do 5,000 steps a day, but like when you go to the grocery store, park far. I mean, we're kind of going over the top no matter where we go. Like when I go to the grocery store, like I walk, like me walking to the grocery store and back.
Yeah.
If I'm just carrying 2 bags of groceries, because we go often, is 2,500 steps for me. So, you know, or if you're going to drive the grocery store, park far and walk and try to like take the stairs, not the elevator, but start with 5,000, because even if you burn 200 calories a day, just by doing 5,000. And if you look at this in perspective, let me show you. Now that doesn't give you can't now like, oh, now that I'm working out, I'm going to eat more. Just do what you normally do, unless you're trying to lose weight. That's a different game. But if you did 200 calories a day for 365 days, that's 73,000 calories that you would burn for the year by making a conscious effort to take the stairs and try to walk 5,000 a day. Now you divide that by 3,500 calories, because 3,500 calories is equal to 1 pound. That is 20.8 pounds that you would burn for the year if you do 5,000 steps a day.
Dang.
At a certain weight, and give or take, you have to calculate all that stuff, but I'm just averaging it.
Well, I started too at 5,000 steps a day. I mean, there's still plenty of days where that's what I'm doing, but we've made the goal a little higher because, you know, just trying to shed some pounds. But I did start, and I still do it often, even when I hit, I think my goal is 5,000. So when I hit that, it's better than nothing, you know?
Yeah. I've been like the past 30 days, like making sure I hit 10,000. And most days I would say I'm doing it. There's certain days I'm super busy, and at like 9:45 at night, I'm at 9,200. I'll walk the apartment complex or walk around in the living room just to hit it. But now that I'm like on this streak, you feel bad breaking it. And I will tell you this, because I've been going to the gym sporadically more than I'm like very proud of myself. Yeah. But the walking, it's not the same as like, I'm going to go lift, like to get into it. Like the walking has been such a gateway.
Walking's nice.
Yeah. It's such a gateway.
It's good to be outside if you can. If you can't, you know, you can stay inside.
Yeah. But it makes a big difference, because at the end of the year, if you're like, oh my God, I gained 12 pounds this year. If you just did 5,000 steps, you would have actually lost 8.
Well, and it's lower impact too. You don't have to be afraid of injuries or whatever it may be. So if you can walk, it's lovely. Wow. We really like it.
Speaking of, I just stretched my hamstring.
Oh no. And stretch before and after. We've really been trying to be good with that.
Yeah. No, that's really good. I'm going to try, I'm going to Shape House again. For anyone who saw my Instagram story, they put you in essentially a sleeping bag made of like whatever it is. And they zip you up and they turn on the heat and you sweat. You love all of those little ditties. Because supposedly, because of the experience your body goes through in that 50 minutes, that over the next 36 hours, I think, or 24 hours, you burn 1,600 calories because of your heart rate, of everything that happens there. And you sweat out all that crap for the week. And then I'm also going to try Stretch Lab. That I'd be interested in, because I love stretching and I've heard just great things about it. Remember that one guy who was our server at Islands? We were chatting how he just did leg day, and he's like, but I don't get sore anymore because I stretch like very, very hard after like 45 minutes. And that was interesting too, because usually with leg day, like 2 days later, you're just dying. He goes, I don't get that. So I think it's good. I like trying all these different things, because if you look at it and you go, this is $50, and it's like, well, instead of like going to dinner and trying a new restaurant, let's eat at home and go try like cryotherapy, which is good for your body and heals your muscles. Or let's go try Stretch Lab or Shape House or whatever else is there. I remember hearing that one time, why not take care of your body, work out, get a massage, go to Stretch Lab, instead of, you know, blowing your money on like drinking bad food, all of that, and then not taking care of your body, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a way to do both. Yeah. I think we have a good balance. We do it both. Like we aren't over the top in one way or the other. Which some people, that is what they need to do. They need to be over the top fitness. It's not good to be over the top in the other direction, but I applaud the people who dedicate their life to fitness and health. I look up to them. I follow them on Instagram and I'm like, oh my God, like the discipline. I look up to you so much. And, you know, for us, it's like, I feel like I want to at least be 80% of that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Like, so that's why I kind of find the balance of like seeing people in like at like Olympic shape
Yeah.
makes me go like, okay, Freddie, you don't maybe have to be Olympic shape,
Right.
but get up to like 80% of that because you totally can.
Yeah.
And, but now that we're getting like more addicted to like the working out and everything, it's like, I think we might, you know, I don't think I've been able to, I want to work.
Let's see.
When's the last time I've had an actual 6-pack?
When you're 17. I've seen the
No,
photos.
that was like a 10-pack.
Oh,
The 6-pack.
10-pack.
The 6-pack.
No.
No, at Bellflower, I had about a solid 4, a little 6 almost showing in like,
Okay.
in like 2013. So
it's when you were working out with the trainer.
Yeah, I was strong back then
You're
too.
so
Oh my
strong.
God.
Well, we're gonna get there.
But we're gonna get there again. But yeah, so I really just want to see if, like, especially by summer, I want to see if I can, you know, see some abs coming through again.
There we go.
That'll be super cool.
Ab Watch 2019.
Ab Watch.
Abs Watch.
Now everyone's like, I don't care now.
Done. Over. Next subject.
Next subject. What else is going on? We had a
really
weekend was
busy
full
weekend.
of birthdays. We have so many friends. Savannah's birthday and Molly's birthday and Kari's birthday.
Yes. We played the most fun game on Friday night, Mafia, aka Werewolf.
We played either way, different characters.
And it was such a blast. It was an interactive game that you played with other people. And I feel like it's such a great way for all these different people who might know each other, might not know each other, to kind of break the ice and work together. And it's just fun. If you want to explain it.
It's really cool. Yeah, I can explain it in a nutshell, and I recommend, there is an actual, like, probably on Amazon, you can buy like the cards, because so basically what you do is, let's say there's 10 people, you all get into a circle, and there's one narrator who sits in a chair with a mic, or no mic, you can just sit in a chair. There's 10 people sitting around, you pass out cards, and let's say there's 3 cards that are a werewolf, there's 5 cards that are villagers, and then there's a detective and a doctor. So those are the 10 people, but no one knows who anyone is. So essentially you come up with a story.
Yeah.
Like, say, for instance, like, you know, the narrator goes, all right, everyone, let's get started. No one knows who anyone is, but we just crash landed on an island and you're all here. You're exhausted. Now let's all go to sleep. So everyone closes their eyes, and then the narrator says, all right, all werewolves open their eyes. So then the 3 people who are werewolves will open their eyes and notice who's another werewolf for the first time ever. And then all 3 silently have to agree on who they want to kill that night. And then once they choose a person, then the narrator goes, all right, werewolf, close your eyes. Now, detective, open your eyes. So now the detective opens their eyes, and the detective gets to guess who they think a werewolf is. So they'll point at someone. If the narrator will either shake their head yes or no, and that gives the detective some insight on who these werewolves are, because the villagers and the detective and the doctor need to figure out who the werewolves are because they're killing us at night. So the detective gets a little inside scoop. Then the detective closes their eyes.
Yes.
Then the doctor opens their eyes, and the doctor can point to one person and save them in case they were the person who was killed. Then the doctor closes their eyes. Then everyone wakes up, and the narrator goes, everyone wake up. Now we have to go hunt for food or whatever the story is. But unfortunately, a werewolf killed someone last night, and it was Amy. And Amy has to go sit in the back in the graveyard, and she's gone.
But she gets to watch the werewolves wake up, which is so much fun.
To see who's there and everything. So she gets to watch as a spectator. The rest of the people then get to deliberate and start asking questions. Like, I kind of heard someone move over here. Are you a werewolf? And everyone starts discussing for 2 minutes who they think the werewolves are. So the villagers have to talk amongst each other, and everyone else, we don't know who a werewolf is. And then we all have to vote like they do on the challenge, or like all these other Survivor. And then you vote. Whoever has the most votes is gone. But you might actually vote off or kill, hopefully, a werewolf, but it might be your fellow villager because you just don't know who's lying or who's not. And it goes all the way down. And
so the villagers want to kill the werewolves, and the werewolves want to kill the villagers. So it's crazy. And what's interesting about the group we played with, there were a lot of entertainers, actors. So it really like 10x this game because everyone was so good at pretending like if they're a werewolf, pretending they're a villager. Yeah,
you could barely tell. It was like,
it
was insane. So if you're a good liar, it's a fun game to play. Or a good actor. That's,
good actor.
But yeah, it's a really great way to break the ice because we knew most people there, but there's a couple people that we were kind of didn't know very well. But when you start like, hi, what's your name? That's cool. So are you a werewolf? You coming after me? Like you build a rapport very good, very, very fast. But yeah, it was good. We got to hang out.
And then Sunday we had our girlfriend Molly's birthday, and we went to a place called Laurel Tavern.
Trevor in LA.
So yummy. Like
Laurel Tavern and Foreman
Foreman's
Tavern is the same everything, just it's on Foreman Avenue or Laurel, which is hence Laurel and Foreman.
Clever.
So good. And because we're kind of watching what we're eating, I unfortunately couldn't have my Brussels sprouts, my deep fried Brussels sprouts, or what are they? Yeah,
with
they're
the
deep
bacon.
fried.
You love that. That's so good.
So good.
I know.
But we split a cheeseburger.
It was really
300
good.
calories a
The
piece,
backyard burger
a piece.
It's really good.
But yeah, that's what we do when we go out, because we didn't want to be like, you know, sometimes it's hard when you're like, hey, I know everyone's having fun, but like, can we get some kale? Which they did have a kale salad, but
so LA.
But yeah, we just split it. It helps because this way you have a bigger choice when you go to restaurants rather than just having a salad. Yeah. If you're with someone, you know, splitting a burger, splitting a appetizer, you're going to get, you know, 300-400 calories each rather than a 1-800 meal.
Split stuff.
Yeah.
Especially if we're like watching. But yeah, it's so nice. I love birthdays because you're really able to see your friends. Relationships are so important. And a lot of our friends that we've had birthdays this past weekend, they're people we've known for a really long time, you know, and really understanding and maintaining all these relationships with great, solid people is just so important, because we don't always get to hang out with others because, you know, we're really busy. We always have stuff that we're trying to work and build, and
moving 20 minutes away has hindered the ability to,
totally.
Hey, you want to come over real quick? It's like, I mean, it's gonna be 35 minutes to get there, 35 minutes home. It's like, so everyone was very excited when we said we're moving back to that area.
Yeah, we're moving back to the
September.
area.
But this will be the longest place we've ever stayed at. It'll be about
and it's been great. It's just far.
22 months by the time we leave. We've stayed in one place.
That's huge for us.
That's huge for us. But now we're going to go back and like, even now we're in our living room. Like, we were looking at like trying to figure out a way to, you know, expand and get another bedroom or two, because we need the space. We want to build a full-time like podcast studio.
It'll be a lot easier to have people come by, and, you know, because there's so many great people that we know that I'd love to have on the show, but sometimes it's just hard when, you know, we've got this.
And we're far.
Yeah, we're far. We've got our home studio, but it's also in like our kitchen, living room. And it'll be really nice to have one big room dedicated to that.
And it'll be like days of our lives. Like, if you go to like a primetime or movie, every shot, every setup, like there's a lighting crew who comes and there's all this massive crew to set everything up. But with Days, you just go to the Kiriakis mansion, they like flick on the lights and we're ready to shoot because they're all in place. So we want that in our podcast too. We actually want to build out and like have an actual like set, like build like an actual, get a Freddie and Alyssa sign and like build it out, get everything and, you know, screw the lights into the walls and have everything just beautiful. So we just like turn on the light and we're like, hey, we got this cool thing to talk about, rather than, hey, we're inspired. And then we're like unscrewing.
Well, it'll make it so much easier to bring more content too.
And guests.
You know, to everyone who listens or watches, because it'll be easy. You know, it's a lot of work when you have to put the lights up and situate the mics and connect everything.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for that.
And then to have another room, ideally, we got to look around, but like 3 beds would be but we can also write these off, which is going to really help. But if we have 3 beds, the one will be the podcast studio. The other one we want is like an office in a workplace. Like, even when we're shipping out books and we're doing everything, like everything's put away. So we get out the printer, we get out this, we get out the stuff. Like, I want to have a table with like the products ready, like everything's plugged in, So it's like designated spots. So we're like, boom, we're printing them out. We're getting those books out quick, or we're pumping out these things quick. Or when we start expanding to other products, like we want that to be the room.
Well, you know, I'm crazy with things kind of being in their respective places. Like, I hate a mess. It just drives me crazy.
I've worn you down though. I've left the lights out because I just can't, like, every time to break all this down.
But it's fine. It'll all work. We'll hopefully get ourselves a great 3-bedroom, plenty of space, plenty of room. It'll give us all a little sanity to be able to move forward with all these projects and sending everything out. So we're excited for that. Can't come soon enough, the next few months.
But we're going to be traveling a lot. We're going to be gone for 4 weeks this summer, a 3-week gap and then a week gap.
First, I'm going to Jersey and New York, in a couple weeks, like 2 weeks. Because my mom is having this show for her art. It's so crazy, and it's so funny because she's such a prime example of the pivot principle, everything we always talk about, because she was a registered nurse, you know, her entire life, raised the family, did everything, of course, along with my dad. And then she retired, and a couple years later, she was actually searching for activities for my grandpa. to do at home, you know? And she went to this one store, she's walking down the aisles, and then she saw like these beautiful, majestic mandala designs. And she goes, what is this? And so she started looking it up and understanding what it's all about. And it's really cool. You should look it up. There are a lot of just spiritual Buddhist type things about it. And she just started painting because she thought they were so beautiful. And she found out she has this crazy talent, like crazy talented. And she started doing it. And then she started posting, you know, her works. She started on those rocks, stones. On the stones. And now she does these huge, beautiful plates.
She has them on her Instagram.
Yeah. She on Instagram is Sweet Things by Valerie. And they're just absolutely sensational. So she started posting these.
And she does them all custom.
All custom. And she started posting and people started asking, well, hey, how do I order one of these? And so she started doing a shop on Etsy, which is soon going to all just be custom because it takes 2 weeks about for her to make each piece because it's, you know, for the respective owner and whatever colors that they want. But she has been making these incredible pieces. If you want to show them.
I don't know if you all can see that far, but yeah, it's Sweet Things by Val, but she's super talented. And I'm so happy for her. Like she's like,
and she had
so much fun.
She had an event coordinator reach out and say, hey, we're doing these events in Manhattan, you know, it's high-end luxury type pieces. And we think that you would be a perfect fit. And so, you know, my mom called me up and she's like, Lissy, you know, I need your help with this. I'm really thinking of doing it. I was like, girl, let's do it. So we've kind of just been working so much on her brand and the business end. Like Freddie and I have really been helping out. And so I'm going to go and I'm going to help support her with that. We're so excited. If you're in New York City, I believe it is on May the 9th, maybe. DM me. I can get you guys details if you're around. But I'm going to go help her with that while
I'm going to go support my amazing show and cast. The Emmys are on May 5th.
May 5th.
We got the little pre-Emmy party coming on March, not
the
March.
1st.
What planet
Where
are we
at?
on?
What day is
Sometime. Yeah, we have like the pre-Emmy parties and everything, but I'm super
that.
pumped to go and support. We have so many nominations this year.
Tons.
And it's in Pasadena, which is so awesome.
Legit.
So I'm just gonna like pop over for like 5-minute Uber ride.
Yeah.
Like, come in, like
go support your show, baby.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be great.
And then that'll all happen. And then in end of June, we'll be going to Ohio, DC,
New Jersey, back to Ohio. And then in August, back to New Jersey. And then New York.
Yeah. And then so September, I guess we can't really say that much yet. Very soon, details for something will be coming out, but we have something really
September
exciting.
28th, save the date for
save
something.
The date. It's not our wedding yet.
Not the wedding yet. Not the wedding yet. People are like, wait.
Soon, we're still working on that. We really, really are.
Yeah.
We've had so many people ask us, and we're just trying to figure out literally the best, most convenient place. I don't know. It's very confusing, but we'll figure it out. I'll let you know.
Yeah, we juggle a lot of things every day. I'm like, because initially May 5th, we were supposed to get married in Mexico. We kind of just like, we didn't plan anything, but we were looking into it.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I don't know how we would have done it.
It just wouldn't have been the time. No, but there'll be a time for it. And I want it to be like a celebration where like these other things that we're going to do, we just want to get off the ground and get organized, because just like how anything else that we do, we like to do it like big and grand and dot the I's, cross the T's, but have fun while doing it. Like, I don't want to rush the process
while we're doing other stuff.
And like, oh, like we really wanted these flowers, but we didn't wait long enough to save this much for this. It's like, I just want to be able to do this big, unless we just dip out and do an eloping. But yeah, the whole wedding's like the biggest thing everyone asks. Like, they're like, when's the wedding? I'm always like, we're just enjoying the engagement right now. Even Molly, she was like, are you getting married soon? Like, what's going on? Like, I haven't got the invitation. Was it lost? And we're like, oh yeah, no, we're waiting for a different day. So yeah, September 28th in Los Angeles, save that date. Details coming soon, but it's not the wedding. It's something else. So that'll all be announced within 2 weeks, maybe even sooner. But it's gonna be cool. So we're not traveling you are, but like the next few months is just gonna be straight up work. Like, we are just knocking things off the list, and I feel so good.
Yeah.
And even the other day, like, there was Simon Sinek did a If you don't know Simon Sinek, look him up on YouTube. Just type in Simon Sinek, like speech or like TED Talk. He's so amazing. But one of the things he was talking about are the chemicals in your brain, and one being dopamine. And dopamine is when you eat a good piece of food, when something good happens, when you take a sip of alcohol, or if you're a dopamine is when you also on social media, if you post a picture and then you look and you see the likes going up, you're getting dopamine shots. Eating a candy bar, it's just like that good feeling. And if you actually make a to-do list, not just in your head, but make a to-do list, whether it's run to the bank, run to the post office, drop this off, do this, and you cross it off, you get shots of dopamine.
Yeah.
Your body responds positively to progression and completing tasks.
Yep.
So even if you think it's mundane, when you start realizing that making the bed is a good step forward, that doing 10,000 steps and crossing it off or whatever your goals are, getting those shots of dopamine feels really good. But it's also, we were saying that today, like happiness
is progress.
Mm-hmm. Like happiness is in the progress, hence the pursuit of happiness. There's never truly a state. I think there's a state of freedom. There's a state of relaxation, a state of comfortability, but the happiness and fulfillment comes from progress.
Yes.
So you got to be progressing in things. I think certain people get a little, and we go through that. Like, that's why we're always like going, like, we're like, let's do this, because we enjoy a week off. But if we can predict the next 5 years of every level of our life, it's just kind of like, you don't get that extra boost of happiness of like that progression. Like, oh, like let's write a book in every chapter, everything. It's like, so it's like, find something you love. Like even with her mom, Val, like she didn't know she was even an artist until she was, can you imagine, Val? I wouldn't say your age. Super, super young. She's amazing. She's going to just hate me.
Yeah, she's going to hate all of that.
I don't know how, because I tried to come back. Now that I said super young, now people are thinking the opposite. Val, what do I say? How do I pull myself out of this?
We'll keep you guys posted.
I'm gonna get lit up on Instagram for that. But it's amazing to see that as she's growing through life, that she's like, I found something I'm passionate about, and she's so happy. You can hear it in her voice, and it's so amazing. And that's what we always want to share, like to get out there and make those pivots, make those changes, get those dopamine shots, get that progress, because that's what life's about. It's about learning and growing. It's not how I initially thought as a kid. Like it's not the car, it's not the house, it's not this. Those are the shots of dopamine, like a great burger or a great like vacation. That all is in that category. It's not happiness. It's a shot of fun. It's a shot of dopamine. But happiness, where I'm my happiest, is when you're progressing towards your goals, your weight loss, your financial, whatever it may be. So
boom, baby.
Shout out to you, young Val.
No, just stop. Just
shout out to you, young mother-in-law to be. She is a grandmother, a very young grandmother.
A
glamma. Juliana's growing up. I can't wait to see her.
Sweet.
That's Valerie. That's Grandma Valerie, Grandma Valerie's granddaughter, Juliana. I might not be welcome in New Jersey this summer. But yeah, so that's just things that we've been kind of chatting about lately, is like, just like getting ourselves out there is where you just learn.
Yep.
You start seeing what's important. Being with friends feels amazing.
And also surrounding yourself too with people who, can teach you different things, or you can grow with them or from them. Like I love meeting new friends who know way more than I do on some subject, and then I get to learn and ask them questions. It's just so fun. Yeah. I love to learn, and I think as you do that and you're growing and you're just having these great relationships with people, because when you get older, relationships I feel change.
Yeah. Well, your goals and your wants and your needs all shift, and like we're having so many conversations about, like we never talked about engagement or marriage or kids back when we were 22, but now I'm sitting there, and Shelly's boyfriend, I met him for the very first time, and he's sitting there, and the more I started to learn, he's like, yeah, I got 5 houses that I rent out at Airbnb. I'm like, okay, say what? So what's going on? So I instantly started asking him questions, and he asked me questions, and that's our biggest thing, be nice, ask questions. But he was asking me about like soap operas. He was so enjoying himself, but I was so enjoying, because he's from Denmark, and he was talking about like how there's 5 million people there and like the way that things work there.
Yeah.
And like, we were just going back and forth having these like in-depth conversation, and it was just getting me all fired up of like, I love asking questions. Now I learned a little bit more about Denmark. I didn't know much about Denmark, but I wanted to know. Now I left there going, you know, I got to have a half a cheeseburger and a beer. That was my fun. And then everything else was continuing to build relationships, being there for one of our best friends, Molly, and all of her amazing friends. We met her boyfriend for the first time. And so just a wonderful guy. It was just an overall really good experience, and
great weekend.
Very great weekend. So, I forget where I was going with that, but anyway, be nice, ask questions, our thesis. And like, we lived that. Yeah. Just like, you know, so that was great. But yeah, I think that was our weekend. We had a lot that kind of went down.
We did.
This is going to be a work week. It's hiatus for me. So we're 100% all in on like all of our projects, because we make a schedule, like, well, this is what we're doing today. So we're doing tomorrow, just so that we can stay, you know,
got to keep a schedule.
Keep it
so difficult when you don't.
But yeah, I just wanted to give everyone kind of an update. I know you did too, and little life update, a little combo. But yeah, we'll be back. We're going to continue to try to, you know, put out more and more podcasts. And that's why we're striving to get this new place in 4 or 5 months to really be able to just turn on the lights and go and give you all more content. We've got like 3 guests lined up for June. So we're going to start doing some Zoom interviews with some guests. This way you can hear some different perspectives from great people. And then we'll probably do another Days of Our Lives week sometime in the summer. And if we're close enough to the studio, I'm excited about our new place, is that when people are leaving work, I'll be like, yo, you want to come over and like, just like pop down and like, just have a combo, like not interview them, but just like sit down and like, you know, shoot the S.
But you know, shoot the S. Bless you.
I don't know why I'm like G-rated today. It's a G-rated podcast. G-rated Share it with your children.
No, what I love about podcasting, and especially when you're able to chat with other people and have guests on, you connect and make new relationships and friendships. And I got to connect with Sal the first time. I think it was in November we did that. Sal, who's on his show, and we were interviewing, chatting, and she and I just totally hit it off. And since then, she's become just such a wonderful, great girlfriend. I love her. She's crushing it in her fitness journey, and I love watching all of her videos. She helps me. And I just love it. I just think it's so cool, because without the podcast, I would have never connected with her.
I'm telling you, like, the podcast has turned into something bigger than we thought, in the sense of getting ideas out. But when we get back into heavy guests, I think we might've mentioned this before, but if there's someone on Instagram or someone in your life, or a local like doctor or a local business owner, or someone that you're interested in, or a local, you know, arts and crafts store, whatever it may be, having a podcast and reaching out saying, hey, we'd love you on the podcast, is less awkward than like, you're really cool, do you want to grab coffee? Which people would still do, but I still would feel like, just how things work. If someone said, hey, we have a podcast, do you want to come on? It seems like there's an added value exchange, rather than if someone you don't know saying, do you just want to grab coffee? Well, it's kind of like, well, what do you like for, like, I want to get to know it. Times are changing. So when you have something to offer in the sense of like the podcast, I mean, cause like, you know, even if I would have said, hey, Sal, like, I know we see each other and you're like, we should go on, like, it took like that podcast to spark that, which we never, like, we just wanted to interview, and like, it would just like happen. So, but as we keep reaching out, it's helping us reach and build a bigger network of like-minded individuals that we like. So if you like being, you don't have to even be on camera. If you're someone who talks and you want to call people and do a podcast, it's so easy to get off the ground. There's so many different
traditional
ways.
Podcasting, there's obviously no video, but we like to share it because
of the different platforms.
Different platforms. But yeah, love podcasting. It's a lot of fun. And if there are certain people that you know, that you like, that you might want to see on when we start doing our guests in the near future, please let us know, because we're always down. We like to talk to people of all backgrounds, different experiences. And like I said, we love to learn, and there's so much that we don't know, you know, that we can learn from people through podcasting. You guys can learn too. So
it'll be good.
Let us know.
So we'll be back soon, and have an amazing week. Make it productive. And we'll talk to you soon.